everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. This is my third episode. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. How's everyone doing today? If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up, please. Hi everyone, welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. So happy to see you all. Hello. Please give me a thumbs up. We want to make sure this is working because technology sometimes has a mind of its own. So thank you so much for joining. If you're on here, you should please text or tag your friends and let them know. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thank you so much. Yes, we're having girl talk today. So I'm so happy. You guys probably can tell how excited I am today. So anyway, let me give you a quick revamp of everything, or a quick introduction. So my name is Dr. Iyabo Webzo. This talk show series that I started a few weeks ago, actually, the idea came from one of my medical student mentees. I think I've said it on another video, or I've put it on a post, that this idea for this show actually came from one of those medical students that I mentor. So she was helping me plan my last conference that I had. And she said, you know what, Dr. Iyabo, how about you start a talk show on Instagram, because people know that you love drinking tea, and you call it Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo, and just start, teaching people and talking about all kinds of, things. Because she knows that I love tea, and she also knows that I love to empower women, and she knows that I like to speak. At least now I love to speak. I used to be so shy before, but practice makes perfect. And I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm way more relaxed now. Those of you who are on here, my old-time friends, Nike, Pero, Claire is on here, my bestie, who is my guest today. You all know that I used to be so shy before. But the more that I talk, and this is why public speaking you have to practice. The more that I speak, and because I'm so passionate about what I talk about, it just comes naturally. Yeah, Ronke is on here too. Ronke, all you longtime friends of mine know that I'm shy and timid, but when I'm doing this, I just, I'm so passionate about it. So thank you all for being here. My talk show series is called Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. And guys, that my hope and my mission in life is for all women to live a fulfilling, purpose-driven, and financially free life. Honestly, that's all life is about. That we all feel fulfilled on our own terms. We all live that purpose-driven life, because that's the reason we're here, honestly. And then to be financially free, because all women want to be financially free. So that's why there's not going to be one topic that's going to be off limits on this show. I'm going to discuss everything that I know that women need to hear, and I want you guys to be as interactive as possible. Please ask questions. Please text or tag your friends and tell them to join us. I want to give others like 1 more minute before I bring Claire on. But again, the idea for this show came from one of my medical students that I mentor, Felicia Aduni. She gave me the idea for this show. So this is why I say that when you pour into others, they also pour back into you. So you never know. That's one thing. You guys know my mantra, my anthem, that you never know who you're going to learn from. You don't know who's going to watch you and give you an idea. And that's probably Felicia's gift. I've told her that she probably has the gift of watching people and knowing what it is they can do to elevate. And I've told her to tap into that gift, because I'm so grateful. And this is why I always give her the stage when I do this show, to let people know that the idea from this show came from a medical student that I mentor. So yes, there you go. You can learn from anyone. This is something that my parents always told me, that boy, just know you can learn from people who are older than you, younger than you, non-educated, educated, atheist, Muslim, Christian. You can learn from anyone. So guys, just be open to learning. Be open to learning. So again, I hope you guys will tune in on most Sundays to this talk show. And when you share with your friends, please use the hashtag Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Next weekend, I have Reverend Idahosa, and then the weekend after I have another guest who's coming on who's going to show us how to be fabulous. And I have so many other guests lined up. Even for October, I have 2 amazing guests already lined up. So I would love for you guys to join. Again, my hope with these shows is for us to have a little fun, but also to learn the different ways to live a fulfilling, purpose-driven, and financially free life. That's all it's about. Not just in this pandemic, but even, after the pandemic. So I'm going to bring on my bestie, Claire. So Claire, if you're on, can you please request to join me? And guys, please ask us questions. This is a time for girl chat. And men, you're welcome. The men who are on here, please stay on. If you want to understand how we women live our lives and what makes us tick and what we love, please, men, stay on and text your friends, your male friends, to join us. If you want to understand women, yes. Okay, let me see. So Claire, who is Yinkus? Yinkus also requested to be on my live. I don't know who Yinkus is. Okay. Who is Yinkus? Okay, Claire, who Yinkus is. Okay, Claire, I'm bringing you on. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. So everybody, so I'm going to introduce Claire. Those of you who don't know her. So Clare Oshinowo is like a sister to me. We're like twins, even though I'm older than her, but she thinks she's older than me. Okay, she's really older than me by like 6 years. But we met since we were like 5 years old back home in Nigeria. We were little kids. We even lived very close to each other also in Surulere, and we've been friends ever since then. Yes, life has taken us apart, back and forth from secondary school, high school, then back to Atlanta, but somehow we've kept in touch. And Claire is like my 4th or 5th sister that I never had. Even though she's not my blood, she's like my blood. But that's the importance of friendships. Of course, we've had at times when we've disagreed on stuff and we fought for a few months, and then we're like, are we crazy or something? So that's all friendship is about. And now we're both 50. We both turned 50 this year, so we praise God. So everybody meets Clare Oshinowo. Claire is like my sister. She knows everything about me. She's one person that I know that if anything is going on with me, she won't judge me. She will support me. She is just there for me. That kind of neutral friend that doesn't judge you, doesn't, it's just like they just support you no matter what. Through my divorce, Claire was there for me. I lost many friends during the time of my divorce. That's when I knew who my real friends were and who my not real friends were. Claire supported me all through. When I would call her, when I had pimples all over my face, and I thought I looked ugly, and she's like, Iyabo, do you really believe that you look ugly? So anyway, Claire, welcome. Say hi to everybody, and I'll let you talk. Say something about us. I'm going to try and type the topic for today here. So yeah, go ahead, Claire.
Hi, everybody. Of course, she's introduced me. I'm Clare Oshinowo. A wife, a mother of 2, age 20 and 25. I'm a behavioral health counselor in a male correctional facility. And yes, Iyabo is my sister. She's not my bestie, she's my sister. So we've been through ups and downs together. Every facet of life we've been through. And she's just like she says I've been there for her. She's been there for me, and she's probably one of my most, if I want a direct, honest answer or someone to comment on something, Iyabo is my go-to because she's very direct. So yes, she has said it all, and there's nothing else to say. She is my sister.
I know everybody says I'm direct. I'm direct to fault. I'm direct, and I'm also simplistic. But I think those are positives.
It's a positive.
Yeah, I know, but that's because you know me. That's because you know me, you know my heart. But some people look at the way that I, react to situations, and they say she's just so simplistic. And I'm thinking, I think simplistic is a positive trait because I don't overthink things. I'm not polarized in my thinking. I just think about what God would do. That's one thing I also love about our friendship, that the way we think is very similar.
Very
We just
similar.
think about what's good, what's kind, what would God do? You know, what would Jesus Christ do in this? Even our political views, both Claire and I are non-political. We're neither Republican nor Democrat. We're just neutral in the middle. We see how things are and we wonder, we're like, why are people so politicized? But this is
Yep.
why we get along, because we're so similar. She's a
Yes.
homebody. She likes
Yeah.
being at home. I like being at home. So it's like, if there's a party or whatever, we're like, do we really want to go to this party? But anyway, so we're going to get into it. Friends are so important. My last two talks, we talked about romantic relationships. The one with the catalyst, we talked about men. The one with the Kenya, we talked about men. Today, we're talking about how, as women, we can support each other, because already, if we're already the lesser gender in society's eyes and we don't have all the privileges that men have, then why should we then be against each other? Sometimes I wonder that. I'm like, why should we be against each other? Women have to support each other if we all want to be, be the voice, be leaders, and be a good example for our daughters. So this talk, what Claire and I want to get from this talk and to pass on to you guys is how important female friendships are. Yes. And how to be able to choose them so that you can have somebody in your corner, somebody that won't judge you. You don't have to have 10 or 20 friends. Some of us make that mistake. You don't need 10 or 20 friends, but you need one or two or three that will always be in your corner. So here we go, Claire. So how important, so let's tell everybody, there's many people on here now, how important are female friendships to our happiness? How important are they?
Absolutely essential. I don't think I can function without having my friends in my life. Because you're not going to, life is not smooth. It's not smooth sailing. We're going to go through ups and downs, and you're going to need a sense of belonging, someone in your corner who is going to walk you through life, through the sad moments, through the happy moments, that is going to be able to share your joys and your sorrows. It's going to be honest with you. It's going to be there for you. There are certain things I can't discuss with my husband that is only a girlfriend that I can discuss with and would understand. And by girlfriend, I mean a good one, And I always say this, it's quality and not quantity. I'm not interested in having 100 friends. That's not what I'm talking about. What we're talking about is having those friends that will be there for you through thick or thin. And so, yes, I don't think I would be able to function without my girlfriends.
So you guys heard that. Quality first before quantity. So some of us like to have a whole herd of people and then we like to talk and tell them everything. So you have to learn to know those friends that are quality to you. And that comes with time, giving yourself time to get to know them, making sure that, it's a back and forth relationship, right, Claire? There's things I know about you, there's things you know about me. But if you have a friend who you feel that they know more about you than you know about them.
Yeah.
What do you feel about
give
that?
And take. It's give and take. I mean, there are times where you would call me, and there are times where I need you. And so, and I know you're there for me, and I have other friends too that are there for me. So with me, it depends on what the topic is. I have different friends for different things. I don't know if that's important, but for me, it's very important because it's not, I have maybe 5 or 6 close friends, okay? And they are spread all over, and it depends on the topic, okay? What is bothering me at that time? I might go to friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, depending on who I would, do I need a sympathetic ear? Do I need shopping? Do I need someone to shop with? Do I need someone to laugh with?
Yes.
Do I need someone to cry with? Do I need someone who, this thing is really, it's a deep secret. I'm like, I need to share this. Who am I going to go to? That's very important to have that person.
Ah, okay. So that's key. So you guys heard what Claire just said. So it's okay to have friends that you go to for different things.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your friends may be friends you go to for your creativity advice, some
Yeah.
for your business advice, some
Yes.
are as there's some that who just make you laugh no matter what.
Yes.
I
Ronke.
know who that friend is for me on here. Ronke, where's I baby? Ronke, whenever I look at my phone and I just start laughing hysterically, my family knows who it is, that whose message I'm reading. They're like, "Is that Auntie Ronke?" I'm like, "Yes." Even my
If you are,
husband knows now. She's like, "That must be
yeah,
Ronke."
if you are down, you are going to be like, okay, I need to laugh.
Yes,
This is getting to
yes,
me. And be rest assured you are going to be laughing. So yeah,
yes.
she's one of my six. She's one of my six.
Mm-hmm. So it's very important to have those. You can have friends, that you go to for different things,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to make sure that it's give and take.
Yes.
So don't have a friend that you just want to take advice from them. You
Mm-hmm.
only go to them when you need something,
Mm-hmm.
friend, just you have to make sure that you, aside from when they will help you when you need something, but you can also check in with them once in a while so that they know, oh, you don't want the kind of friend that once they see your text, they're like, oh, she wants something again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be the friend that you want your friend to be. So how important are female friendships to our happiness? Very, very important. It's not everything we need to go to a spouse or husband or boyfriend about, as Claire said.
They
It
won't even
has to be
understand.
quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
It has to be give and take, and you can have different friends for
Mm-hmm.
different things that you do.
Yeah.
Yes. Oinda Mola, thank you so much. Everybody meet my younger friend Oinda Mola. I love Oinda Mola because she comes on all my lives and then she helps me type out what everybody is saying so that they can follow. So everybody please give Oinda Mola a shout out and a thumbs
Hey.
up and tell her you love her. She is a leader and I just love her spirit. She's really good. She's typing out all the points for us. So okay, Claire, so does every woman need at least one very good, trusted friend or best friend? Because some people just have a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
They find it hard to trust one person. So do we all need at least that one very good, trusted friend or best friend?
Yes, I believe so. And there's a reason for that. You like all your friends, they're quality friends, the friends you do have, but there's going to be that one or two, the one or two people that when it's really deep and it's something that you absolutely are too scared to let anyone know, or I don't know how to explain it. You just need that person that, if I tell you this, it's not leaving you. You have to be very sure that that is the case. You trust that person implicitly. There's no doubt. You have to have. And I don't know if I was asking myself, do I want to go personal on this? And I decided, yes, I'm going to go a little personal on this if you would allow me.
Of course.
Okay, so you know how you get married and you go through ups and downs and they tell you you're going to hit heavy speed bumps at some point. Okay, it's how you deal with it. And I made a mistake at that time. So that's what I'm about to share with you with regards this best friend, trusted friend thing. I hit my speed bump in my marriage 10 years into it. It was a huge bump. I didn't see it coming. Okay. I went from a size 16 to a size 6. That's how serious it was. The mistake I made, so the younger people would learn from this, is I didn't tell a living soul. Not my best friends, not Iyabo, my sister, not Simi Dele that I was talking to every single day. Nobody knew. All they knew was Claire lost weight, went from size 16 to size 6. It was a very traumatic period for me. I had a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old at the time. And I didn't tell anybody. And then to compound it, a year after that, I hadn't gotten over the issue as such, because of course I didn't share. I didn't share with my family. Nobody, I'm telling you that nobody knew. A year after that, she's given me permission. So Simi Dele was the one I used to talk to every day then. Iyabo was there, but Iyabo and I have how we communicate. It's totally different. And I never told her and spoke to her every day. So she had an issue and she had to leave. She left the country and she didn't come back. It was unexpected. So my best friend was going through something. I was going through something, but she didn't know what I was going through, and I had to help her deal with all that. So it was very traumatic time for me. Lesson is this: you have to have someone that you trust implicitly, that you are able to share, no matter how painful. The reason is it's going to take you longer to get over that stress.
Yeah.
If you bottle it in. And that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to cry during this, and I'm going to try my best not to cry, but I think that may be inevitable at some point. But you're so right, because during my divorce, the same thing happened with me. I tried not to tell any of my friends. I was keeping it within, but at some point I knew I had to share it, because it wasn't just enough to share it with my family.
Yeah.
At some point, as you know, I started to share it with you. So women, and sometimes we are the ones who destroy these kinds of relationships, because we get scared that what if I tell her and then everybody hears. So trust is the problem. So we have to make sure that we are trusted friends. You have to make sure that you're a trusted friend, and your friend will feel comfortable to tell you. But Claire is right. If you're going through something and you don't have a close friend that you can discuss it with, it's going to take you, you're going to hurt more. It's going to take you longer to heal. It's really, really painful. I have two friends now that I discuss most things with. One is Claire, who is here. I call them my sisters. The other one is not on Instagram. Her name is Kimberly. I met Claire in childhood. I just met Kimberly about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago. But they're both trusted friends that I tell everything to. And once I talk to either of them or both of them, I just feel this peace within me. I'm just like, okay, somebody understands. Somebody didn't judge me. Somebody didn't, I just feel, and I know that it's not going anywhere. So it's so important. And the way to find a best friend, a good trusted friend, is how? Claire. How? So if there's some women on here who are saying, oh, we love their friendship, but I don't have any friends like that I can trust.
Oh.
How do they find one?
Oh, it's trial and error. It's trial and error. Okay, you're going to meet people you think you can trust. You're going to tell them things, you're going to hear it outside. Okay, I've had that issue too. But the person has to be honest with you. It has to be someone who you've shared so many things. And even when you quarrel, keyword quarrel, you heard what Iyabo said. Iyabo said we've had one speed bump and we didn't talk for a few months. It was traumatic. You should have seen the makeup. The makeup session was very funny on the phone. I don't ever want you to. It was funny anyway. But not once did I think, I didn't tell a living soul. Nobody knew, because I didn't say anything to anybody. And I never said, oh, she did this. This is what she told me. I never heard she say, this is what Claire told me. You know how friends behave when you quarrel, and that's the greatest mistake friends make. When you quarrel, if you're a good friend, I don't want to hear the person's business.
Yeah.
Yes, that is how you know a trusted friend. Someone that is going to be honest with you, dead honest. And of course, Iyabo is. Iyabo doesn't potile, as they say in Nigeria. She's going to be very direct. And I like her because she's going to say what she's going to say, and we're going to move on from it. And we both do that. We don't dwell on the issue. And you want someone who is going to say, hey, I don't think what you're doing is right. So that's someone that's going to tell you the truth. But to find someone you trust, it's trial and error. It's going to be like a test. You're going to put things out there and you are going to be hurt. And like me, I have friends who have hurt me, but till today, I really didn't say, I still keep them as friends.
Yes.
But yes, I still do, because there might be other benefits. They might just not know how to keep secrets, or they don't know how to keep their mouths shut. I don't mean that in a bad way. Yes. I have friends who, they talk even about themselves. They're not being mean. So as long as I know that they are not being mean, I can still handle you as a friend, because there are other benefits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's key. So what Claire just said now is key. As long as they're not being mean. Oida Mola, please, if you can type that for everybody. If you have a friend who is being mean,
they are not
saying mean,
malicious.
yeah, who's being mean or malicious or saying negative things about other people and gossiping and being malicious, you don't need to fight with them, but you need to set your boundaries. You need to create space and just, there's no, anytime you want to stop a friendship or relationship, you don't need to fight. You just need to start creating distance. Somebody
Boundaries.
else agreed with you. Bumi 0808 said sometimes people just talk too much. That's true. That's true. Some people talk and but when they're talking, it just comes out without them even knowing. Yes. So
But some are malicious and some are not. Some
yes.
you know that, okay, I can't tell, I love this friend to bits, but I can't tell her certain things.
Yes.
I love her, but I know that, you know. And the worst one is when you quarrel. Like I say, be very mindful because you're going to have disagreements as friends. It's not normal not to have.
Yes.
Be mindful of what happens during that off time. Because if the person is going around and talking about you and exposing things that you said in private that was meant to be, you know, between you and the person, then run. As Iyabo will say, because I know Iyabo will tell you straight up, run.
Oh yeah, run a mile, sprint, run, and just create your boundaries. You don't have to fight, but you need to run. So I guess we dealt with the third question. How do we build trust amongst each other in female friendships? I guess we kind of, so did we, or do you want to touch on that, Claire?
Just
so
a little, like if you say you're going to do, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to be there, be there. Okay? When the person needs you, be available.
Yes. Yes.
That's the most important one. It's not like fair weather friend. When the person needs you, not just when things are going good. When the person needs you, be there. Be supportive. Sometimes you just want someone to listen. You are not looking for someone to tell you, go left, go right. I just want you to listen sometimes. It might just be, I'm sad, I'm down, I want to talk. If I'm sad, I might call Ronke and I want to laugh. She might not know why I'm calling her, but I just want to laugh because she's going to say something funny. Okay? And then I have another friend, Yinka, that's one of my 6. I can say anything to her and we'll turn it into a joke. The saddest moment, I think of the lot of my friends, separate of my sister, Iyabo, so you're not in that category, you're my sister. Of the lot of my friends, Yinka probably knows the most, only because she makes me laugh. She can turn that sad situation into something funny, and we still did that yesterday.
Yes. So, and that's so important. Laughter is so important because life is so serious and life is so hurtful sometimes that you need to be able to just let loose and just laugh. It's very important. So again, how do we build trust amongst each other? Be trustworthy. When you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to be there, be there. And if you can't be there, let them know. Sometimes last minute things happen. Let the person know so they'll know that you're reliable. So, you know, stick to your word. Stick to your word. And if you can't make it, then make sure you let them know why and you know what's going on so they will understand because life does happen. Okay. So we're going on to this one that I just wonder about because one thing about me is that I don't have 1 ounce of envy or jealousy in my genes. I do not. And I always wonder why women, and maybe, and because I really thought about this a lot. I just feel like the reason why women don't support each other enough is because of competition and envy and jealousy. Okay. I don't have one, I'm telling you, full disclosure, maybe it's because my self-confidence is so high. I don't have 1 ounce of envy or jealousy in my blood. I want everybody to do well. It makes me happy when I see other people doing well. Yes, there's some people I aspire to be like. That's not envy or jealousy though. There's people that I look at and I'm like, oh, I wish I could be like them. Oh, I wish. Okay. But if I actually could see them, I would tell them. That's one thing about me. I'll tell them and say, oh, I really love this. I wish I could do that. Yes. But Claire, so help us piece this one down. Why do women tend to envy and compete with each other?
Okay, this what.
consciously or
Oh,
subconsciously, because sometimes we don't do it consciously. Some women
okay.
don't envy or are jealous. Is they just, it's just a habit.
Okay.
So why are women so envious and so jealous of each other? Some women, not all.
So what I'm going to say is going to sound controversial. I don't want to use the word everyone has envy, some form of envy. So I'm going to say some people or most people have some form of envy. Now you have qualified yours as admire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so envy in its description is a negative connotation. I agree.
Yes.
But there's some form of envy that is not bad envy. It's like aspiring to be like someone, you admire the person.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with that. Okay.
Yes.
So it just depends on, envy is an emotion. Okay. And for every emotion, there's an action. Like anger, how do you handle your anger? Are you someone who tears down the house, or are you someone who walks away and counts to 10 and does all the positive things you are meant to do? So it's the same thing. For example, if you had, let's pretend we have 4 friends, 3 of them get married, or 2 of them get married, the third one comes and says, guess what? He just gave me a ring, I'm married. You are very happy for that, your best friend. But deep down inside, there's this twinge. Why not me? Why can't it be me? Am I going to meet someone? So,
Yes.
I mean, that's a twinge of envy, if you see what I'm saying. But it's not really envy, because the action of the friend is what is going to determine if it's negative or not.
Yes.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a friend that's had that twinge of, oh, I would love God to bless me with a husband too. Now I'm the last of the lot. I'm not married. But when it's time for the bridal shower, the girl's wedding, the friend's wedding, you're there for her. She's doing everything. She's happy. She's really happy. But that thing is there. Then there's the friend who is like really envious. I'm now talking negative envy. And that person now tries to sabotage. You don't want the wedding day to go fine. You try to mess up the bridal gown. You pick a bridal gown that oh, I think you should wear that one, when you really know it doesn't suit her. So that's what I'm saying, that there's a difference. Okay, you call it admire. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with admiring someone. But when you admire someone, it means you're going to work towards achieving a goal. I want to be as successful as. So you work towards that. You don't sabotage. When you sabotage, that's me. And what is causing that is low self-esteem, lack of contentment, those kind of things. You don't feel good about yourself. And you have to be very careful, because the people that envy and sabotage are the people who try to be close to you. They're overly friendly. They flatter you all the time. But behind you, guess what they're doing? She thinks she's all that. Someone says something positive about you, they tear you down. Jojo, like who is, who is she? Who does she think she is? But meanwhile, when you see the person, it's like, hey, I so love you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm making sense.
I understand everything you said. And that was the last statement you just made is what I was going to ask, because you said they try to sabotage you. They come to your wedding, or they try to say one color is good and they're just pretending. But what about those ones? Yes, the ones who laugh. That's what I was going to ask you. That what about the ones who laugh and joke, and they're the friendliest, but behind you they're saying other things though, and you don't know. So how do you figure that out? There's some who are real, they know how to act.
When someone is really pushy, if you have someone who is really pushy, overly friendly, flattering you all the time, but you notice that, you would know. I think sometimes you have, well, maybe not initially, but the stories eventually are going to circle to you.
Yeah,
you're going to find out, and you start picking up stuff. Okay, so be very mindful of overly friendly, all of a sudden type of friends, not people you know that are just envious of you. And another point I want to bring up is, there are we women, please, that don't know how to say, wow, you look lovely. I love your top. I love your lipstick. They look at you. They admire you. They envy you. They'll keep it in them. And yet when you see them next, they are trying to speak the way you speak. They're trying to do their hair like you. They're trying to do exactly what you do. Those are the people you should be mindful of. If my friend comes into a party, I do this to Ronke all the time. I'm waiting for Ronke, Miss Fashionista. I want to see what Ronke is wearing. If Iyabo comes in and she looks dropped, you look good. You look really nice. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
If you like something, say you like it. If you don't like it, yeah, shut up. You don't have to say, what did you wear? I don't like what you don't have to say that to make the person feel bad. But if you genuinely like something and the person comes in and looks hot, compliments them. If the person, well, I'm not saying be overly, you want to know the person's business. You want to know, okay, like I know about Iyabo. Iyabo doesn't like pushy people. Iyabo does not like you. I don't ask Iyabo questions. I really don't. I don't ask. I just say, is everything going fine? Do you need my help? Because I know her. She's not the kind of person that wants you to say, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Oh yeah, give me the gist. Are you going left? Are you going right? She doesn't like it. Okay? And I'm really like that too. Too much info. Kilo day.
Yes. Okay. So Claire is right. So Indamola, can you help us type it and piece it down for everybody? Beware of the friend who is overly friendly and overly pushy and overly curious about your life.
And don't tell you anything about theirs.
That's the key. That's the part I wanted to say. If they're overly curious, overly pushy, overly friendly, they want to know about you, about your kids, about everything, but you don't know much about them. You have to beware of those. And the thing is, with Claire and I, we have the same nature. So we're not overly pushy people. So if somebody comes to me and is overly pushy, overly friendly, I don't know how to do that in return. I don't know how to, if they're asking me about my kids and my husband or my love life or my money situation, I don't know how to do that. It's not my nature to say, oh, what about you? How's your husband treating you? How are your kids doing? So what is this? How much money? I don't know how to do it. So then even if in the beginning I don't know, with time I start to wonder, this person knows so much about me. If somebody asks me any question about them, I can't answer. So then, all my senses come up like, okay, where?
Yes.
So it has, and this is everything about relationships. We've talked about love relationships. It's give and take. Husband and wife have to give and take. Same thing with friends.
Yes.
You have to give and take. It's even in my book. I have it in my book that if your friendship is it's not balanced, you are giving. They're asking you questions and you don't know anything about them. It's time to separate it. So yeah. So Oindamola, please help us put that. Beware, guys. Caution. Yellow flag, red flag.
Red flag.
Friend who wants to know, pushy. Beware of them. It's like when I met Kimberly, my other best friend, who is like my sister. When I met her, Kimberly told me everything about herself. We were sharing that day. We still remind each other. We're like, remember that day we were out of breath? We were so,
that's like my friend.
She was telling me, I was telling her, she was telling me. And since then, there's nothing I can discuss with Kimberly. She doesn't judge. I've never seen someone like, she'll just be laughing.
Yes.
You're telling her something serious and she's laughing and she's praying. So she always elevates my mood when I talk to her, because everything is just like, she'll have a scripture to tell you that will just completely calm your mind. So those are the kinds of friends, right, Claire, that we need.
Yes. But sometimes you're going to be the support system for someone else. You might not need their support quite as much as they need yours.
Okay.
I have a friend, my friend Maggie and I talk to Maggie every other day, okay? And I know I'm her support system, okay? And really that's how it is. But I love it because she's very fresh. How would I put it? Her heart is pure. So I don't mind that. She would, if she doesn't ask me too many questions either, but she allows me when I want to rant, she will let me, because she knows I hardly ever do that. It's more, I'm listening to her, I'm there for her.
Yeah. So, And that's fine though, because life is cyclical.
Yes.
Yeah, life is cyclical.
Yes.
Life revolves. It's like
Yes.
how you support your husband or your wife. It could be the wife
Exactly.
that is doing well in this season,
Yes.
and unfortunately, the husband doesn't. But
Yeah.
even with friends, when life is cyclical, nobody
Yes.
knows what tomorrow holds. So
Exactly.
you could be that support system for
Yes.
her now, and then
Yes.
in months or years, it
She is the
reverses.
support system
So
for,
yeah,
yeah.
but you've known her long enough
Yes.
to know the
Just
kind
like
of
you
person
since age
she
5.
is.
Yes.
Yes. So, friends, so everybody on the show, this I really want us to gain from this. So, what we're discussing now is it's fine for it sometimes to be unbalanced depending on the life situation at that time. Like when I
Yep.
went through my divorce,
Yep.
Claire was there for me. I told her all the stories, all the names I was being called about, all my pimple situation and everything. I told her all my stories, and she was there for me because at that time I was down and she was strong for me. I mean, her life wasn't perfect either, but she was there for me. But you know, it can go back and forth. So don't
Yeah.
feel like you're giving and she's not giving. In
Oh.
fact, I would say that actually God has called us to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is down here, if they're going through a divorce or they've
Mm-hmm.
lost somebody or they're going through depression, any really serious life situation, it doesn't even have to be serious.
Yes.
There's many people on here who've messaged me with stories that may be things that I help them with it. I don't expect anything back from them,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't any so God has called us to lift others up. So
Yeah.
and that's fine to do, because I'm
Yes.
telling you it will come back to you, and don't do it expecting something back in
Nope.
return.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Don't be kind to people expecting something back in return. You just do what God has called you to do. The fruit of the spirit.
Yeah.
Remember the
Exactly.
fruit of the spirit. Just do it back. But as you become friendly with that person, then it should start to flow. If you decide that you want them in your lives, you should start to learn about them back and forth.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's go on, because it's with the last question. This isn't the last question, but the last question is juicy, and I want us to really talk about that one. But Claire, how can we better support our friends? How do I put the question? So, how can we better support our close friends and even the ones that are not close to us?
Okay. One, honesty. You have to be honest with your friends. It might be painful sometimes. It might not be what you want to hear, but sometimes you have to be honest with your friend. You have to be there for them when they need you. Sometimes people go through stuff. Know your friend's habits. Know your friend's personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of person that if things are not quite right, and it's not necessarily marital, it could be work related stressing me, and of course of late it could be health. Okay, I tend to withdraw a little bit. I just need space. That's just the way I'm wired. Now I have friends who would say, I called you, you didn't call me back. Iyabo and I, we don't talk to each other every day. We can go weeks without talking to each other. And that's the truth. The moment we talk, we pick up, where we left off. I tell her what is up. She tells me what is up. And we deal with it at that time. If you have the urge to call someone, call them. It shouldn't matter who called last. And that's how you support your friend. Don't count. Oh, I called her 3 times. She didn't call me back. Iyabo and I don't have that kind of relationship. I could text Iyabo. Iyabo won't respond for maybe a day. I'm okay with that. Same thing, the other way. I know she's busy, especially now. I know what it takes. I've worked with my husband before he owned a practice. I know what the practice part takes. Then until, she has time now. She's now doing this. I know she records, she does this, she does that. She has 4 beautiful kids. So sometimes I say to myself, she's probably recording a video. That's how I think. I'm not worried because I know when we do talk, it's going to be. So you have to be supportive of your friend. You have to understand your friend. It is not a friend if you don't. And all your friends are not the same. You can have one who doesn't mind. So know their behaviors, know what they like. Let them know what you like. And really and truly be there for them when they're going through things. That's very important. If they're doing good things with their life, encourage them,
Yes.
praise them, I mean, well, listen, when I went to Iyabo's house for the first time, when she bought her house, listen, there's this, okay, you know how your heart just goes, it just expands. I can't explain the feeling. Going through her divorce with her, knowing what we talked about, knowing what she planned for herself, I saw it. I just saw it. It was like, this is what we were talking about. She's very determined, and I love that about her. She said, this is what I'm going to do when the time comes. I'm going to, this is how, yes, okay, this is going to be messed up for a while. I'm going to build it back up. I'm going to do this. Everything she said she did, she was going to do, she did. When I walked into that house, I have never felt such pride. I mean, anytime I see her, you know, talking, Iyabo never talks. Iyabo cannot give a speech even at my own birthday party. I'm being honest. So to see her evolve, you can't begin to understand the pride. And it's true. That's why, you know, you should be supportive, because you never know where the person is going to go. You never know if you're even going to need them down the line, if they're the ones going to support you, build you up, and direct you. You don't know that. So be supportive in whatever your friend does, as long as you know she's going in the right direction. Now, if she was going in the wrong direction, come, that's wrong. You can't do that. I would tell her. But since she was young, she's always been very determined. So yes, support your friend. Forget, I'm not interested in knowing, be content. Iyabo and I we're alike, but then I don't have Iyabo's drive. I'm being honest, I don't. Her goals are totally different from mine. I'm a 9-to-5er. She hates that. She wants me to be an entrepreneur, and that's what she's trying to how she's trying to be. So I laugh. I said,
that's why I have her on this show.
I know. So I'm a 9-to-5 girl, very structured. So we don't have, I can't go into our house and be thinking, because right now my 9-to-5 job can't carry that, and I don't have, not that I'm saying I can't have, but that's just not me. So why envy her? I'm happy for her, and all my other friends too, they're doing well. I support them, I'm happy for them. I don't even think I have any friend that is not doing well. And I even my friend Margaret, like I said, when she talks to me, I always remind her, you have this, you have that. And she'll be like, Mom, I didn't think about it that way. And she'll be like, okay, you're right. And that's how we relate. So be supportive of your friend. Be proud for them. If they are doing good things, I will text Iyabo after whatever, you know, and I'll say, all right, it's getting better. I followed her from when she sounded like me with voice shaking, but doing well. And now
your voice is shaking.
Very confident, and I'm proud, and that's what friendship is about. So I hope I answered that.
Yes, no, yeah, you really answered it. Thank you, Claire. So you see how just being authentic, just be yourself, just be authentic, and be honest. For me, I'm honest to a fault, and sometimes it gets me into trouble, and I don't care. I'm honest on my posts.
Yeah.
I'm honest on my posts. There's many people who have unfollowed me because of my honesty, but I will say
it comes from a good place.
Huh?
It comes from a good place. That's the difference.
Yes. Yeah, it comes from a good place, but you know how the world is now. Everything is politicized. Everybody thinks with polarity. For me, I talk about everything as it is in the Bible. I'm not an overly religious person, you guys know, but anything I say it according to the scripture. But some people don't like that because of politics, and anyway, but I want to go over what Claire said. Be a friend that is honest. You can be honest and still loving. You know, you can tell your friend, this thing that you're doing I don't like it, so it's not good for you, or it's not the right thing. Don't say, you know, it's not right. So I still love you. I don't care, but I just wanted to tell you, be honest with your friend, but be kind about it and leave it there. Don't go and tell other people.
Yeah.
And then, guys, please, let's not be petty and overly sensitive. If your friend sends you a text, and if you send them a text and they don't reply, don't be that person that is going to send exclamation marks and where are you, what are you doing? Nobody likes that. Yeah. Man to woman relationships, that's not good. Woman to woman, that's not good. Don't chase people around. So let's not be petty. Let's be careful of judging people, and let's have an open mind. We understand each other. Obviously, if I text Claire and she doesn't reply me like 2 days, I'll call her because that's unusual.
Yeah.
But you know, there's sometimes that we text each other that we don't reply for a day, and that's fine. We understand that we're fine. But obviously, if it's going to 2 days, and
Then
then
that's different.
that's different. You call. So you know, be careful of judging. Have an open mind. And there was something somebody said on here that somebody made a comment. I forget. Everybody's saying it. What I think it was Yvonne. Oh yeah, Yvonne was saying that what if a friend doesn't want to open up? That's a vital question. Oh. Like, you know, if you know your friend is going through something and you ask them and they just say they're fine.
Okay, don't forget I used myself as an example. It won't have mattered. Listen, I went from a size 16 to a size 6. Okay, my friends thought I was taking diet pill.
Diet pill.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's doc. You have to call in this prescription you wrote for Claire. I'm being honest. If someone is not ready to open up, you have to respect that. You can push all you want. It's just going to be added pressure. When the person is ready, the person is going to open up. When the person sees that they get the support, when they do eventually open up, you will see that they'll begin to relax and tell you more things because they see the difference. I dealt with this thing myself. It was horrible. It was a horrible feeling. Then I don't live where I moved to. It was around the time I even just moved to a little town. I had no friends here, nothing. Now I was functioning. It wasn't like I was laying in bed depressed. No, it wasn't that kind of thing because I can function. I can function fine. I can talk to you every day, but I just did not share. So no, don't pressure your friend. Even if you know something is wrong, you can just say, are you okay? You can say, hey, let's go out. Let's go to the movies. I wish them that, you know, I opened up earlier, but I didn't. But ask the person out. Take them to, you want to go to the spa? Let you know something is wrong, but the person is not ready to tell you. Okay, you do your job as a friend. Eventually, when the person feels comfortable, trust me, they will tell you.
Yeah, but let me talk about a little extreme here, though. But you have that emotional stability to be able to cope through it and all that. But what about the small percentage of cases? Because that's never happened to me. I hope not. But what about the small percentage of cases that, you know, you try to get into this person's life, you know, they're hurting, something is going on, and you're worried that, they could do something bad to themselves. How do you intervene in that kind of situation? Because that does happen. I've heard people say, if I had known, I would have intervened more. I would have called their husband.
That's what I was
about and all that.
Okay, so that's what I was about to say.
Okay.
But you have to be careful because I don't want to tell my friend something and every single thing I tell her, she shares with her husband. You can share some, but it's not every single thing. So if she's the kind of person that is going through stuff with the husband and he's on the defensive, or maybe he's a wife beater, for example, and you now go and call the husband, not knowing that he might be the cause of the problem.
Yeah.
You are creating more issues for her, which is why I'm saying, so it would have to be, it might have to be maybe her family member, it might be her mother instead. Because you are not sure if it's the husband that is the problem.
Yes. So the lesson here, though, for everybody, because I want these shows to save lives and I want it to make lives better. The lesson here for everybody, because we still have one question I need to touch on, and Instagram is going to cut us off in like 6 minutes. The lesson here is, please, guys, let's be the good friend that we want other friends to be. Let's check in with our friends. We don't have to be pushy, but we can tell them we love them. Like the way Claire and Kimberly text me. Like Kimberly, when she texts me, she'll just say, thinking of you, I love you. You know, at least you know there's somebody that cares. Or Claire too will just sometimes call me on her way from to work and say, just checking in. How are you? You know, so let's make sure we check in with our friends from time to time, and let's let them know, I love you very much. I care for you. Don't forget, you know, I'm here. Claire, you have something to say?
Yes, please. It's very important. If you discuss something with your friend, don't keep on at it day after day. She has told you something. You've checked on her a bit. Do not make it now an issue. Every single time you call her, all you're asking about is the problem. The person wants to move away from the problem. So don't, okay, you've discussed it, you've given her your advice, you've checked on her maybe a day or two after that. After that, don't let it become the main consent. Yes, it's very important. It takes the person back. It's like, okay, hey, can we move on?
Yes, that's very important, because it's like and people who do that, I think they have an ulterior motive. Not always, but I feel like people who do that, they want to expand that problem into what it's not. You have already moved. It's like people after I had been divorced for like 8-9 years, and some people will send me a message and say, just checking in, I hope you're okay. I'm thinking, the divorce from how many years ago? You know, so I feel some people just want to exaggerate your problems to make themselves look good. So
like, have you said, you tell them a little quarrel, have you settled? Is there, you know, and it's like, hey, slow down. I don't, you know, let me be the one to, if I want to bring it up, I will, which means there might be residual pain, and I still want to talk about it. Allow your friend to talk about it. It's okay. But don't let it be the focus of your conversation all the time. Especially if you don't share anything. You're very private.
Yes, it's key. Don't exaggerate things. But I do want to say, if there's anybody on this call right now who's going through things, who's going through stuff, who's feeling sad or depressed, please call your primary care provider.
Yes.
Make sure you call a psychotherapist or psychiatrist. If you're feeling suicidal, please call the Suicide National Hotline. But if it's just unhappiness here and there, relationship problems here and there, I'm happy to help you. I do offer coaching. But if you're severely depressed and you're having suicidal thoughts, please call the suicide hotline. And friends, please, let's support our friends, and let's be trustworthy friends. You don't have to say everything about your friend to other people. So now my last question, which is very, very important. And I'm saying it because around my divorce, I did go through this. And it's funny how divorced women and married women, and how they just, you know, the relationship is funny, and because of husbands or not husbands. But there were many friends around my divorce that I know. Some told me that their husbands didn't want them to associate with me because I was newly single. Yeah. So how do we manage that? How do we manage still supporting our friends when our husbands don't want us to? Because I know there's many friends I cut off since that time, because I'm like, if you can listen to your husband and not want to be close to me because I'm now a single woman, then you're not a true friend. So so Claire, can you touch on that? Because yes, we love our husbands, but we also love our friends. So how do we handle that?
I mean, it's a very slippery slope, because your marriage is important to you, but my goodness, you're going to have marital problems. You're going to have issues with even the husband himself that is telling you. So who is it you are going to go to? It's the friend, especially if it's a friend you've even known longer than you've known the husband, and the person tells you, you know, or someone in the family says something like, oh, once someone is divorced, a married woman, people say that. And in our culture, it is big. And I don't know why they feel that way, because that's the time I believe that my friend needs me the most. So you can still be supportive and still respect your husband in a way, but you have to stand your ground. I'm sorry on this one. You have to stand your ground. You have to determine, unless, I mean, now if it's ruining your marriage, and I don't think it gets to that point, but it depends. This one is a tough question. For me when it comes to balance. But if you are talking about, like, maybe your husband doesn't like your friend, are we just talking about divorce, or sometimes your husband just doesn't like
any situation? Your husband doesn't like your friend, or I'm saying the one of divorce, because I experienced that.
Yes, I know you. Yes, I know you.
And it hurt me, because I'm like, oh, so because their husbands are insecure and they don't want them to be around a woman who's divorced and who is single, you know. So it's like, but then if it happened to me, how would I deal with it? I would have to discuss it with my husband and say I have to support my friend.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That, sorry, I'm not going to give up my friend because my friend got divorced. Because if I got, I mean, I don't have a perfect life. Okay, I've been through ups and downs, so it could be me.
Yes.
And I would hate it if my friend is not supportive of me because I'm divorced. I can't even imagine that, how painful that is. It has to be painful. And then
Claire,
people say,
Claire, let's come right back because Instagram is going to cut us off and I want to save it.
Okay.
Everybody come back.